sent Shrimp the link. Hopefully he'll be right along. I didn't want to make you guys wait any longer. There was one person waiting. I think they dipped out. So I don't know if anyone's watching, but I'm basically just gonna bullshit until Shrimp comes around. If you're watching the replay, I'll put a pinned comment down with like a timestamp to where you can skip through the waffling and get to the show whenever Shrimp gets here. So if you're not familiar with Shrimp, he does a sort of a coronavirus news channel. He covers some other things, general upheaval. He did some Ebola coverage back when that was topical. You know, he covers a lot of the same stuff that we do over here, but he does like a live stream format pretty much all the time. But the reason I found Shrimp was because of his whistleblowing very early on in the pandemic, before it was even a pandemic. And so that's mainly why I wanted to interview him, was to ask him, some of the details about that, because it was pretty game changing for me as someone who was following things very closely, and it confirmed a lot of my suspicions. I was telling people, it's already here, dude. Like, but there's only been like a few cases and they all came off planes or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, it's spreading, it's around. And then comes along Shrimp with inside information from Rochester, New York, about an outbreak. And I'll try not to, spoil it for him. I'll let him give out the details himself. But it was it's a pretty big deal for me. It was a moment of vindication, but it was also it was just generally exciting, because then I knew that it was coming. Just as I told you, in the words of the great Paul. I need to add that video to my little video clips player thing, the Red Alert channel intro that I've got, with that kooky dude Paul screaming at you. I don't know whatever happened to Paul. He lost his channel. I couldn't find any sort of backup. What's up, Fairy King? Fairy Kang? But yeah, man, I don't. We're gonna get into some more stuff too. Once we get this sort of interview stuff out of the way, we're gonna talk about some of the news coming out of DC today. We're gonna talk about how China is underwater again. I've got a pretty interesting video from Turkey. It's also flooding there. I thought about making a like a compilation of the China videos, and I might still, but I'm anticipating some criticism about not covering Germany and Austria flooding, because I was, frankly, it was interesting, but I was caught up in the South Africa stuff. Speaking of South Africa, the attack that I reported on, the potential attack that was rumored to occur Monday, doesn't look like it happened. So it was either just a rumor, or it was, their operational security lapse caused them to cancel it. I'm not quite sure. So, Stephen Robertson, welcome. We're just waiting on Shrimp right now. I'm just shooting the shit till he gets here. I sent him the link. and he's, in my experience, not the most punctual guy in the world. But there's a strategy to that also. It's like it can come in useful if you're gonna go to a party or something. You always want to get there early, get there late, arrive late, and leave early. And, if you have like a big a zinger of a joke, or you say something clever and everyone laughs, that's when you leave. You just walk out there. Don't say goodbye to anybody. Just disappear, and they'll spend the rest of the night thinking, "Man, who is that hilarious guy at Bolite? Said all that hilarious shit. Where'd he go? Hope I see him again." You don't want to overstay your welcome, and let people in on the fact that you're not always hilarious or funny or clever. like right now, where I'm running out of things to say, things to talk about. Let's check my bell notifications on Twitter and see if there's any breaking news that we can cover. I worked out the problem that I had the other day with that stream where I couldn't get the screen share to work. But I got it working now. Yeah, here we go. So, as I was saying before, China's underwater yet again. It's a video that's been going around. It's a dude in the water. He's trying to rescue his son. They ended up washing away together. Never to be seen again. Maybe. Sucks though, man. I've never experienced flooding, so it's got to be pretty wild. We've got protests going on in Iran. The protesters torched a tank somehow. I don't know if the tank is actually damaged or if they just, threw some burning fluid onto it. It looks pretty bad though. It looks like it's coming out of the top there. So I don't know. Some more waffling about the monkeypox. This woman got shot with a rubber bullet the other day for no reason, is what many people told me. They told her to stay back, and she kept walking towards them. I've had plenty of interactions with the police. I've never been shot. That's because I always did what they said. California Geological Survey has updated the tsunami risk zones for the first time in 12 years. Neat. Yep. Sure would be terrible if that happened. Sure would be awful. I'd hate to see that. I'd hate to see California looking like this. Yeah, my internet sucks, if you can't tell. The first affiliated hospital of Xinjiao University is apparently dealing with a power outage. There are cries for help by netizens on social media to help with resources to rescue patients. These are not verified news reports, waiting for official news reports on this. So you can't trust people in pain in an entire situation. You need to get the experts on hand. You need the journalistic experts to tell you what's going on. Until then, it's just a rumor. All right, it needs to be co-signed by the Chinese news network, what have you. So, this is interesting. Man found dead on Staten Island with "I touch little girls" written on chest. So, freaking based. Need to see some more of that. FBI informants were involved in nearly every aspect of the alleged plot to kidnap Michigan's Governor Whitmer, starting with its inception. Sounds about right. What? What the fuck? Oh, KFC's getting sued, dude. They're about to get sued hard. That was awful. This dude, he reminds me of that old guy from the Six Flags commercials. Did the dance. So a couple more people joined us. So I'll just reiterate, we're just waiting on Shrimp right now. I figured I'd pop in and provide some sort of content until he came around. He's got the link. I haven't heard from him in about 40 minutes, but he's around. He's probably freshening up or something. People's Liberation Army warns that this dam in the center of China could collapse at any time after being severely damaged by torrential storms. What's up, Atma? Atma Chan. %34 rise in lightning strikes in 2020 to 2021, leaving 1,697 people dead in India. Pretty wild. What? Mother with dead infant and a bloody railroad spike booked on murder charge. That's insane. So we got ex-Trump campaign advisor Thomas Barak charged with acting as a foreign agent. Interesting. Meanwhile, at Three Gorges, looks pretty calm over there. Yeah, probably not much risk of it breaking down this time around. Not at the moment, anyway. RIP to the regular Chinese folks. That prob didn't make it here in the floods. This looks like, I could be wrong, you can't see a lot, but it looks like the subway. There was a a subway car, at least one, that was full of people when the floods started to get bad, and they ended up stuck down there. There's some pretty harrowing looking footage of that, of them making their way out. A lot of them, I saw a report recently that a lot of them managed to make it out, but they had to leave on foot, sort of like hugging the wall. There was like a rail. I think I've got it set aside for later. We're going to talk about the flood stuff a bit more in depth with Shrimp, but we might end up covering it all as we go down my timeline here. I don't know. So this is just the protests in Iran. It's a pretty goofy looking rocket. I'll just say it. Yeah, this is the report I was talking about. News came out earlier that the passengers of the flooded subway were rescued one by one. Unfortunately, some videos and photos are circulating online now where it seems clear that not everyone survived this tragedy. There's more footage of people in the flood. There's that video I posted earlier, or part of it. Well, almost the whole city of Xingzhou was flooded. Many residents were washed away by the water, and floating bodies appeared everywhere. That first clip that they show is pretty wild. So there's a dude just sitting on this truck here, or this van, or whatever it is. That would be intense, dude. So, I mean, that thing could pop up and just float over that at any time, and then you're toast. This lady's getting dragged away. Here's another urban waterfall, just sucking cars down into it. Saw this earlier, it's pretty wild. 14-year-old found covered in blood after allegedly killing mother and injuring father. And we got a manhunt underway after a family found dead at home in Cherokee County, Texas. Suspect's vehicle is a 2017 Dodge Challenger. Just making sure I'm not missing shrimp. This is my I've played around with this StreamYard thing a bit, but I don't exactly know what happens when you invite somebody. I know when Shrimp invites me into his, he's got to add me to the chat, so I don't know if it'll like alert me or what. I should probably keep an eye on this. FEMA and FCC will conduct a nationwide test of the emergency alert system tomorrow. Oh no, Wednesday, August the 11th. Sorry. This is another thing we're going to cover later after Shrimp gets here, or at least that was the plan. But there have been additional cases of COVID-19 among vaccinated White House staff. So Bezos said he wants to build factories in space. He wants to move calls for moving all polluting industry into space. And he claims you can't imagine how thin the atmosphere is when you see it from space. I don't know what that statement is supposed to mean. I'm pretty sure he didn't see the atmosphere. Iran reports 27,444 new coronavirus cases, the biggest one-day increase on record. Here's Fauci refusing to answer gain-of-function specifics. No sound. God damn it. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. That's a problem. I was gonna let it play and then ask about that, but thank you for letting me know, Fairy King. I had that problem yesterday, but I figured it would pick up the audio from the screen I was sharing, but I guess not. And my mic is it's not very good. I mean, it's kind of awesome in a certain respect, in the sense that it will only pick up my voice sitting right in front of it, facing it. It won't pick up, other noise in the room. Like my fan is right next to me. You can't hear the fan at all. It's not very powerful, but it's convenient. So these dudes are just hanging on for dear life. A Tesla Model 3 chugging through biblical flooding in China. I know those things have problems with like the battery can't get wet, or it can't be submerged for too long. I don't know uh, how well it can handle just being underwater for a brief period of time. But you wouldn't need a snorkel for it. At least I don't think you would. So he can probably get through a lot deeper water than an internal combustion. Wildfires consume 2.5 million hectares, which is 6.2 million acres of forest in Yakutia, Russia. Yakutia is a very interesting place. I've been reading a lot about that here lately. Here's the subway I was talking about. The exact video I was trying to describe earlier. The people on the narrow ledge trying to make their way out. There's just a whitewater river going through the subway right next to them. That'd be pretty intense. Number of unconfirmed videos are emerging from Xinjiang. Flooding showing numerous dead bodies, several videos of a bunch of people dead in what appears to be a subway station. Quite disturbing. Here's a lady who can't swim or something. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know why she keeps. Maybe she's trying to dog paddle or something. EU to prohibit anonymous wallets for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, according to new law amendments proposed by the European Commission. UK reports 46,558 new cases, 96 deaths, the biggest one-day increase since March. Car graveyard and the floods. Russian tanks from a base in Tajikistan have arrived at the border with Afghanistan ahead of army drills next month. And this dude, absolute madman, he drove his van into a jar of chalky milk, and he's just sitting there looking around confused. What an idiot. Not sure what's going on here. What this uh, where they pulled her out from. Um, I guess probably a sewer or something like that. It's pretty wild. There's another clip from the subway. Yeah, it's not a good time to be underground, obviously. Tropical storm In-fa is tracking westward and likely to pass north of Taiwan Friday night before striking eastern China late Sunday. The Three Gorges Dam and the Yangtze River is in its path, so that might cause some problems. Europe after deadly floods, 120 dead, and hundreds are unaccounted for. Volunteers form search parties and bring aid material to flood-hit areas. Thousands of people have suffered property damage. Some have no place to sleep in. This is Typhoon Kimpaka. It's moving slow and will continue to take southern China to Pound Town until Thursday. This Starscream guy, he's pretty good. He covers a lot of stuff. he takes some liberties sometimes, but then again, so do I. Uh, but my biggest gripe with him is he often doesn't give much context. He'll like post a video with like eyeballs emoji and just leave you to figure out what the fuck is going on. But he actually gave us plenty of context there for once. Looks like it's the train station here. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, this was interesting. The flooding in Henan province caused this massive explosion at an aluminum alloy plant in Denfang City. Dingfeng, I don't know. It's a pretty impressive explosion. Yeah, these if you haven't heard, there's been a rash of church fires in Canada. Olympics committee does not rule out last minute cancellation of the summer games. I honestly think they might as well cancel it. I mean, the whole reason people want to host the Olympics, they talk about the honor of hosting it and all that. It's all about the money, dude. It's all about bringing in that revenue. Um, and I'm not being cynical there. That's why people that's why these countries argue about who's going to get the next Olympics and all that. They want people to bring that money in, man. They want the tourism. They want they want the money. I don't blame them. But if they're not going to have uh, you know people, if they're not going to have asses in the seats, I don't really see a point. Staff at Hong Kong public broadcaster RTHK ordered not to refer to Taiwan as a country or its leader as a president, according to an internal memo. So, just China spurring out some more about Taiwan. This is a fire that popped up, down the road from one of the prime minister's residences. It's almost not even a story, really. It's somebody's house burning, so I mean, it sucks, but I don't know. I don't know if it's international news. So the Georgia representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was suspended from Twitter for 12 hours for false claims about that COVID-19 is not dangerous for obese people and under 65s. Which I don't know if they got that right. EHA, they cover some things that a lot of people won't touch, so I follow them, but they're a Turkish based media outlet. They get confused when it comes to English sometimes. New Jersey securities regulators order BlockFi, a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin financial services platform, to cease onboarding activities over marketing unlicensed securities to the general public. So China's got a new maglev train. Neato. We've reached the end of my The end of my internet's rope, apparently. There's no sign of shrimp. This is terrible. This is a disaster. I probably should have waited, but I didn't like to see the timer ticking on past the scheduled time. There's somebody waiting as well, so figured this is better than nothing. Me sitting here rambling on, but starting to run out of things to ramble about. Yeah, I don't think anything came of that guy with a gun in LA. 105 illegal immigrants were found crammed inside a semi truck during a traffic stop um, yesterday in South Texas. And there was a rocket barrage in Israel yesterday, a fairly large one, but not as big as what we saw a couple months ago or whatever. But whenever that happens, it pretty much takes over my bill notifications. So that's all we're going to see for a minute now. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a guy in a dumpster. This is what I mean about the CIA simulation guy. It doesn't offer us much context. Got some pretty bad flooding down in Alabama. This was yesterday on US 31, it looks like. I don't know what this video is, but it's pretty interesting. I assume it's like a safari park or something. It's not going to play. German police use violence against citizen who refuses to display identity. The police got the 28 years old man on the ground, stepped on his head, and punched him in the face. Yeah, he's gushing. He's a pretty big dude, though. They can barely get him. But they got him. Some gangsters in Mexico. I think those are gangsters. I don't know what a sicario is. I can only assume. COVID-19 hospitalizations in the US are at the highest level since May and continue to rise. It's coming. And Janet Yellen was talking about, she hinted at more lockdowns. So we might see it. Might see it all over again. Another round of stimulus and all that. some food lines in South Africa. Jump over to that, see what's going on live. Do a quick shrimp check. No shrimp. So it looks like the United Building on Field Street in Durban, which houses a Cash Crusaders store, caught on fire this morning. This is the third large building that caught fire within a week. Zimbabwean former finance minister Tendai Biti speaks on how the country is being looted through official treasury hemorrhage and corruption. Sounds about right. So we've got some cold weather heading for South Africa. In Gauteng, that was one of the provinces affected by the looting and all that. It's a cell phone mast set on fire in Germiston. So there's been a lot of arsons going on down there. The looting has settled down a bit, but people are still burning things. And then we've got a report of two dudes arrested or shooting at taxi, Langa taxi rank this morning. I don't know what a taxi rank is. I assume it's either the taxis themselves or the company or something. They were the taxis over there are ran by Indians, so they were shooting at Indians more or less. Kuthwa into direction to Cape Town is a no-go zone area. Shots being fired randomly at cars on the N2 this morning. Can't even tell at this point. It's just the usual Cape Town CAC or taxi violence or something new. King Mswati deploys soldiers, police at Lamahasha as political chaos erupts again in Swaziland. We got some fake news getting debunked there. Looks like some people stole a truck or they stole the keys. We got tanks on the N3. Well, shit. Still no shrimp. Here in Germany, dozens have died in floods, hundreds are missing, thousands have lost their homes. It's devastating. This is the climate crisis. A climate crisis unraveling in one of the richest parts of the world, which for a long time thought it would be safe. No place is safe anymore when the climate comes to town. Does look pretty fucked. I don't know what this giant pit is that everything's flowing into. Coming up on an hour and no shrimp. So I'm thinking we're gonna give it a bit, just a bit longer. I think at 6 o'clock I'll pack it in, and if I can get a hold of him, we'll go again. And I'll just pop up sporadically with the shrimp. But what I wanted to do, because this is a very small channel. Usually when I stream, nobody shows up. Maybe like one or two people. I think the most we ever had watching live was two. We got up to five today, so that was pretty cool. But that's why I wanted to like schedule it ahead of time, an hour or two ahead, in hopes that it might get the word out and get a few people popping up. And it seems to have worked. But we got the viewers, we got the Ebolite, we didn't have the shrimp. So shrimp was supposed to be the focal point of the show. Everything else was supposed to be extra. We got no shrimp. We got some book breaking there. Don't want to show that. Mozambique food shortage looming as trucks with essential goods stuck in South Africa. So that's wild. I have to grab that, post it some places. This is an informal settlement. I believe that is new speak for a squatter camp. Shantytown. Nice. It's like a tier 2 squatter camp. You evolved from squatter camp to shantytown. That was a great video. The oil slick. Yeah, I didn't know they had auto zones in South Africa. I see they defend them a lot better than they do in Minneapolis. Now we're getting into like old stuff that I already showed you guys. Massive flooding. Representative Marjorie Taylor says she will not stop speaking, she will not stop tweeting, she will not stop posting, she will not stop asking questions. Number of Americans hospitalized with COVID-19 tops 26,000, high since May. Dixie Fire grows to nearly 60,000 acres across Northern California, 25 miles north of Oroville. It's a big ass fire. Tariq Nasheed to build buck breaking museum. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Taco Bell menu hit by nationwide shortages of ingredients. Game over. Food carts adjust to changed city. Yeah, it's the same old shit, man. Well, I suppose we're gonna call it. Thanks for tuning in. One person still hanging out. Appreciate you. That's that. Like I said, I'll try to get a hold of Shrimp, see what the fuck is going on, and we'll just if we can get a hold of him, we'll pop back impromptu and just do it. I'll get Ebola chain to play us out real quick.